end-of-season contests is you just get a look at some of the best players in the state, and some of the players that are here haven't been signed or haven't committed yet to playing at the next level, and it sort of is able to serve as a last really great showcase for these players and what they're able to do, and really sort of give another platform to be able to maybe get scouted and signed to play at the next level. So that's something that I've always enjoyed about being around, whether it's the football game, whether it's the basketball games that we have here. That's the best part about these for me.
Oh, we got some great girls that are going to be playing in this game. A couple of girls going to Chattanooga, which include on the North team, Alicia Carter. She's going to Chattanooga. She is a 4A state champion 4 years in a row. Number 11 she's going to be wearing. She's from Lake Highland Prep, and she is one fantastic player that we're going to get to watch today.
Absolutely, and no surprise coming out of Lake Highland Prep, that's a team that is consistently either at or very near the top of that 4A class.
Also going to Chattanooga and signed as Hannah Cohn from Haggerty. Other players that you're going to see out there for the North include Mari Wilson, who is signed and offered to South Carolina State University. She's from Lake Gibson. Also, Zoe Tennell from our own backwoods, the Villages Charter School. She committed to Daytona State College.
Exciting stuff, and yeah, it's nice to see Zoe today. I hadn't seen her in maybe a year or so got to see her today, give her a hug, congratulate her on a great season. So always nice to see a familiar face.
On the south side, we've got Monasia Ford. She's from Discovery, and she's committed to South Carolina State University. Ariana Mosley from Tampa Prep, she's committed to Grambling State. That's one of the best schools that one of these girls is going to. Grambling, always a force to be reckoned with.
Absolutely, and nice to see somebody from my neck of the woods these days down in Tampa and Tampa Prep, a team that I have a little bit of familiarity with these days. Nice to see her getting that chance to play at a really good team at the next level.
Number 14, Haley Long for the South. She's going to Chipola Falls. Tyra Brown, she's committed to Jefferson College. And a couple of other unsigned players that we're going to mention in today's contest, but it's going to be a lot of fun. We are just about to tip off here in the FACA Girls Basketball All-Star Classic at Southeastern University in beautiful Lakeland, Florida. As we were driving down here, Ben, we just took in the scenes, and this is a beautiful campus. A lot of people haven't heard about it. They're part of the NAIA region. You got SCAD, Savannah, Southeastern, Warner, Weber International, Kaiser University, and Florida Memorial Ave Maria that play in this conference. Really nice school.
Absolutely, and again, like you said, not a school that I had a lot of familiarity with coming down here, but really beautiful facilities, nice campus, and couldn't have picked a better place to host this.
All right, we are getting set for the FACA Girls All-Star Game. Again, my broadcast partner is Ben Miller. I'm Kyle Coppola, technical director Marty Zero, and on camera will be Drew Shaltry.
Please let your good sportsmanship show as you watch today's game. Please stand as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem.
All right, and with that, we are ready for the girls' FACA Basketball All-Star Classic here at Southeastern University in Lakeland. They're going to introduce some of the players. As they do, we're going to go over some statistics this season that happened. Some great statistics, especially for Zoe Tennell. 26.2 points per game. She's going to be wearing number 21 for the North in blue, and in the red it's going to be the South. 26.2 points per game, 12.6 rebounds per game, and she's 49% from the field. She looks really good, especially going to Daytona. Daytona is getting one heck of a player.
Absolutely, yeah, and a Daytona program that I believe is starting to, be on the come up sort of in their area. And for Zoe, I always say if you're going to college, go just far enough away that your parents can't drop it on you all the time, but close enough that you can get home if you want to. So I think she's really struck that balance there, if you will.
One of the better players that we're going to be seeing tonight as well is on the South. She's getting introduced right now. Is going to be number 12, Ariana Mosley. 22.1 points per game this season, 530 points just this season alone, and she's scored over 1,000 points in her career. She is going to Grambling, and that's going to be a lot of fun to watch her today.
Without a doubt. You score over 500 points in a single season, you absolutely know how to put the ball in the basket, so definitely one to keep an eye on.
Absolutely. Introductions continue here on the FACA All-Star Game. We are live on YouTube, or the Buffalo Stampeders YouTube page, and always love what the Buffalo Stampeders do, especially for the Villages area. Just fantastic what they are able to do and able to broadcast this game for you today.
Absolutely, really great to be able to give these kids a platform and just be able to see them play one last time for their high school careers.
Many of these players looking to get signed, hopefully that it's not the last time they will throw on a basketball uniform, and many already committed. Looking forward to a great game here today. The coaches for the girls team include Colt McDowell of the Villages Charter School. Colt McDowell, the coach of the boys program usually. They went to the state championship this year. And then for the South team, you've got Dwayne Donnell from Evangelical Christian. Really, really good coach, and he gets the most out of his program. But let's talk about Colt McDowell. What a great coach to have coaching in this all-star game for the girls. He wasn't even supposed to be the coach in this game.
Absolutely. He made a joke to me when I saw him walking in the gym today. He said, it's interesting. I've been coaching for boys so long. Girls listen a lot better, man. Girls listen so much better. But no, I know he's happy to be here and really enjoying this opportunity today.
Yeah, he's having a lot of fun, and first time that coach has really done a girls game since his really early days. I mean, it's been probably 10 years since Colt McDowell has actually coached lady basketball, and so that's going to be fun to watch him over there.
Going back to the roots, Kyle. Going back to the roots.
We are live on YouTube, and we're at Southeastern University in Lakeland, Florida. You see the logo down there. They are called the Fire. A lot of it's kind of an interesting name, but going with the Fire. And this is called the Furnace where we're at. We're being told by our technical director, Marty Zero. So, yeah, it doesn't feel like a furnace, which is great. It has air conditioning, so that's good. We've been to a couple gyms this year where they didn't have air conditioning. That wasn't so fun.
Always an adventure. Always an adventure.
Always an adventure in Florida, especially. What was that game earlier this year for the Villages that we went and there was no air conditioning, Marty? Clear water, and that was not fun. About 120 degrees inside that gym. All right, here we get set for the tip-off. The North and South. The North wearing blue, the South in red. South is going to take possession early in this one. Hillman with the ball. Going to pass it over to Ford. Really nice spin move. And the South's going to recover the ball, and we're going to get a traveling violation to start this one off. So the South not afraid to shoot it in Monasia Ford and Ariana Mosley. Already a great team effort from them so far.
Something I'm interested to watch here, number 10 on the South, Hillman. a player that I've had a little bit of experience with in the last year. The school I'm working at currently, Academy of the Holy Names, we played her Lakewood team several times during the season, and she's one of, if not the best on-ball defender I think I've ever seen in girls high school basketball. So interested to get a look at her today and see how she does.
Yeah, Ben Miller, an athletic trainer, actually. And so doing great things. We miss Ben up in the Villages. He's doing great things. This is a basket up and in, and that's going to be Maya Lake from Westport. The guard out of Westport. Where's number 12? She's the District 7 Player of the Year, and she is currently unsigned. Ball taken down the other end, another basket, and it's challenged heavily. Great defense by the North so far. The basket was put up by Mosley. And driving down is Zoe Tennell, who puts up a shot. She's from the Villages. She's committed to Daytona State College. Back down, and a nice lay-in there by Ford. Ford from Discovery. Naja Ford, 14.6 points per game this season. 6.3 rebounds per game as well, and here she is. She got the rebound, drives down, takes the shot, and Ford has the first 2 baskets of the game for the South. Driving to the lane, and a foul here, and that was Brieja Washington. She goes by Chalk Washington, though.
That is a tough bucket right there, Kyle. That is a tough bucket. You know, and one of the things that I think is, I think it looks like they've just called it on the floor. No shooting foul there. But one of the things I think is always really interesting about these games is, you know, these players just don't have a lot of time together before they actually take the court. I believe Marty just told us in our year that they get about 1 hour, maybe an hour and a half yesterday of practice. So a lot of it is just going out there and sort of feeling things within the flow of the game. Not necessarily running plays. It's more, you know, using your basketball IQ and just sort of feeling how the game is flowing and taking what it gives you and sort of relying on sort of picking up each other's intuitions and intricacies within the flow of the game. So something very interesting.
Absolutely right. You are Mosley with another basket down the other end, and the South retake the lead. Here's a 3 that's launched, and it's good. That was Hannah Cohn. Hannah Cohn, her team went 27-2 this year. She shoots 22.6 points per game and 70% from the field.
That is about as good of a shooting percentage from the field as you are going to get.
And a couple of players coming in here for the South. They're going to include number 21, Olivia Davis from Cardinal Mooney. Also coming out there for the first time, Amanda Gamino. And number 14, Haley Lang, still in there as well. North coming back down. Here's another 3 that's launched. That's going to be an air ball, and out of bounds it goes. It'll be South ball. Another player that is in there is Kylie Gamina. So we have 2 twins playing for the South. They're both from Martin County. Amanda Gamina wears number 13, and number 20 is Kaylee Gamina. And they certainly look like twins out there, and they were fantastic for Martin County this season.
Absolutely.
Trying to inbound this ball, and for the first time, Gamina has it. Great defense by the North, and the North has some stellar defensive players, and we're going to talk about them a little later on in our broadcast, but a great defense going on so far. Trying to drive to the lane, and that's Washington. She's going to get her pocket picked, and down come the South. Lang gives it up. Working the top of the key is the South. 3 ball. Missed off of the rim. Gamina grabs it. A hook shot by Gamina, and it's retaken by Zoe Tennell, who's one of the leading rebounders that we have in our game today. Zoe Tennell had 12.6 rebounds per game. She gets in there offensively and defensively there, men. Here's another 3 ball. Oh, off the rim. Really nice grab by the North. Off the rim again, and look at
another
North.
offensive rebound.
Ball's going to go out of play, and the South's going to have it. But we mentioned the defensive play for the FACA North All-Stars. You got to mention number 15, Hannah Cohn. Again, she has 2.4 rebounds per game, but 22.6 points per game. Zoe Tennell with 12.6, almost 13 rebounds per game. She's unbelievable.
And that's for a point guard, shooting guard as well, getting that amount of rebounds. So definitely not shy about crashing the glass.
Right, you are, Ben. Here comes the North, and foul going to be called here. Going down, that was number 10 of Gartman from Sanford Seminole. That's going to be a foul on the South's number 13, Amanda Gamina. That's our first personal. Second, thought it was going to be the second team foul because we already had one called on Haley Lang. Free throw was missed up by Gartman. We'll get the rebound numbers so far, and you can see North all over the place. They lead by 7-2 so far. The South do have some better shooters on their team, though. The North, more, I would say they're better defensively.
Another
foul
excellent.
call.
We've seen a couple of excellent just entry passes from the top of the three-point line down low there, and haven't been able to take advantage of it. But that is something to watch on as Zoe puts that one down.
Tennell with a three. And no, they're going to call it a two. Her foot was on the line, but she's got that range there, Ben. She's had it all season long.
Absolutely, and she's one who's not going to hesitate to pull up in transition in the rhythm of things and take the shot if it's there. So something for the South to watch for sure.
Tennell gives it up to Gartman. Driving to the lane.
Oh, nice little hezzy there.
Samari Wilson. Samari Wilson, 1,000 points in her career. 17.6 points per game for Samari Wilson.
Great pass there. Great
Nice.
pass.
Nice pass on the inside, and Gamina has her first points of the game. And her sister's going to get the steal, so the Gamina's coming up big right now. Pass it up to Ford. Ford's going to give it up, and a three ball is off the mark. Going to be recovered by the North, and they're going to press the attack now. Tennell coming down, and Tennell going to take the shot. Going to be just off the mark. That's recovered by Tyra Brown. Tyra Brown, one of the tallest players we have out here today. She is 5'9". This one off the mark by Gamina. Taken by the North. A shot, and it's off the mark. Tennell going to get the recovery. Puts it up. That's Tennell's fourth rebound already here, Ben. And a foul coming up here.
And one of the things that we've seen already is this game is kind of taking shape. You notice the South really willing to push that pace. Whenever they grab a rebound, they're immediately looking for the outlet pass, looking to get up the floor quick. The South looking to be maybe a little bit more methodical at times, with the North not being shy about pushing the ball down the court.
Right you are, Ben. At the line right now, you have number 14, Shock Washington. She's she's the state champion runner-up. They lost to Dr. Phillips this season, 47-43. She's 56% from the field and 78% at the line. So a very good free throw shooter at the line here for the North, and she drains both of them. Coming in for the North is going to be number 11, Alicia Carter. And Alicia Carter, she, again, is a 4A state champion runner-up 4 years in a row. She's headed to Chattanooga, and where's number 11? Chattanooga is going to be really happy to have a player like her. Here's a drive in the lane, and a foul going to be called here on the North.
A really good pass off that drive there, just sucking the defenders in and then dumping it off, and not able to get the bucket from the field, but a chance from the line now. Excellent pass.
Samari Wilson was called for the foul. That's her first personal. First team foul for the North, and at the line shooting for the South is number 12, Ariana Mosley. And Mosley is committed to Grambling State. One of those players that can grow at Grambling too. She's got plenty of room to grow. but certainly an excellent high school basketball player. And one of the top players in our game here today. This one's going to be drained by the North, and that was Hannah Cohn. Out of bounds, be the South ball. So what do you like in this game early on? You see the North, and they are absolutely dominating the boards currently. They got some really good shooters on their team.
Absolutely, and that's the thing that's interesting as well when, you know, you're not necessarily running a ton of set plays. We heard Colt McDowell calling, you know, motion here earlier, which is very generic, just motion offense, keep the ball moving, keep moving through that paint area, keep cutting. But when you're running those sort of generic sets like that, getting those second chance opportunities off the shots that you can create in the flow of sort of what's happening within the game, that's something that's going to be really important.
Just over a minute remaining in the first quarter. It's a quick moving first quarter for us. The South looking to cut this lead in half, and that's a 3. And that was Haley Lang from South Fort Myers draining the bucket. The North coming back down 14-12, the North lead. And take their sweet old time here. No shot clock here in Florida, so nothing to worry about. I always found that unique in Florida. A lot of areas of the country, sometimes they use a shot clock. Here in Florida, we do not. That's a great drive to the lane, but just missed there was Alicia Carter. And a foul here is going to be called on the floor. Foul was called on number 15, Hannah Cohn. That's her first personal, second team foul. Hannah Cohn from Haggerty. Coach Josh Cohn over there at Haggerty, her father. The South driving into the lane, and another foul going to be called on the floor here. Foul is going to be called on number 22, Samari Wilson. That's her second personal. Samari Wilson, again, from Lake Gibson College, from Lake Gibson High School. Wilson has an offer from South Carolina State University, and we'll see if she attends. There's 3 girls in this tournament we'll talk about that are headed to South Carolina State University, and if Samari Wilson accepts that offer, it will make it 3. 2 are currently committed. A traveling violation called here against the South. So South Carolina State, they're kind of cleaning up.
They're
as far as
well represented here for sure. Well represented.
And that's going to be the end of the first quarter. 4 quarters of action. We've got the second one coming up for you in a little bit, as the South currently down 12-14. The North looked really good in that first quarter there, Ben.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, we touched on the rebounding. They did have a lot of second bites at the apple there, getting those offensive rebounds. So something to keep an eye on for sure. And then just as well, the pace of the game, something very interesting.
Yeah, the pace for sure. I mean, the North they came out of the gate, they looked ready to play. The South came out a little slower, but, you know, they've stayed right with them. The South has some great shooters on that team. Tyra Brown along with Manasia Ford. Manasia Ford is very impressive, and, you know, you like what you've seen out of here. She's committed. She's one of those players that's committed to South Carolina State. And Ford, she's 14.6 points per game that she's averaged. Ford played for Discovery. 49% from the field, and she shot 291 points this season. The points don't really matter here, Ben, because conferences are different. It really depends on how your team did. Unfortunately, Discovery didn't have that great of a year this year, but one of the highlights this year was number 11 of Ford.
Yeah, without a doubt, without a doubt. And again, something interesting, you know, you have a bunch of players from different team backgrounds, and so how do they mesh on the court? How does that team sort of gel and come together in that extremely limited amount of time they have to actually practice before playing this game? So always something that's worth watching.
Second quarter begins here at the FACA All-Star game here at Southeastern University in Lakeland. Ben Miller, the color, and Kyle Coppola, myself, the play-by-play. Drew Shaltry on the camera, and Marty Zero, our technical director. A shot here is no good. The South's going to grab it. Another rebound grabbed here by Olivia Davis from Cardinal Mooney as the South begins to press forward. Great defense here by Zoe Tennell. Look at that. Zoe Tennell, one of the smaller players on the floor, but you wouldn't notice it the way that player plays. She wears number 21 for the North. Here's a three, and the South retake the lead. Nice competitive game so far. Here is a nice bucket here.
That is a tough bucket.
By Chalk Washington. Chalk Washington out of Winter Haven, and the South come back down. Look at this.
And good defense on the other end by Washington.
Really nice, but South ends up getting the bucket there. Tyra Brown from Fort Myers. Tyra Brown committed to Jefferson College. First time we've really talked about her. Jefferson getting a really good player later this season. That was a bucket that was missed, and a defensive rebound by the South. Foul going to be called here against the North. About 6.5 minutes remaining in the first half. And that foul was called on number 11, Alicia Carter from Lake Highland Prep. That's her first personal, 4th team foul. It'll be South basketball. Looking to inbound this ball is Hillman. Hillman remains uncommitted. She wears number 10 for the South. We'll see what her future holds. One of those players trying to make an impression in this game.
Yes, absolutely.
That foul is going to be called on Zoe Tennell. That's her first personal, and that's the 5th team foul on the FACA North All-Stars. At the line shooting right now is Tyra Brown. Tyra Brown, 14 points per game she averaged this season, 337 points total, and she shoots 43% from the field, so really nice player. Brown played out of Fort Myers. Her coach was Chad Terrell.
Looking very smooth from the free throw line here as well. Got a good stroke on that free throw shot.
Right you are, Ben. Yeah, she's taken a couple of them so far, and yeah, that's just come so natural to Tyra Brown, and she's going to check out here into the game. Is going to check in number 14, Haley Lang. Haley Lang committed to Chipola College, Division II school. Nice basket there, up and in. Alicia Carter. You can see why she's headed to Chattanooga. Foul down the other end. This is going to be the 6th team foul on the North All-Stars. Approaching the bonus. That was called on.
2 quick fouls there for Zoe Tennell. That'll be her second, and she might be coming out after that one, but making another attempt for that one.
That was her second personal, so it looks like coming in, Samari Wilson's going to come back in, number 22 for the North. Taking the seat on the bench is going to be Isis Gartman. Ben, tell us about those fouls right there. You can see 6 for the North and 3 for the South.
Not shying away from playing into that physical aspect of the game for sure. Playing, one we mentioned fast, just with the amount of pace they're pushing that ball down the court, but also not afraid to get a little bit physical as well. And that is a deep 3.
That's from NBA range. And this one's going to be off the mark. South going to take it back, but nice defensive effort here by Isis.
Oh, and getting on the floor. Look at that.
Look at that.
Getting on the floor for the ball in the FACA All-Star game.
What
more can you ask for?
Yeah. You got to love it, Ben. I mean, it's so entertaining watching these guys. These are the best of the best here at Central Florida, and all of Florida has to offer.
Tough move there.
She's been playing great, Mosley. Mosley's been having a great half so far. Mosley committed to Grambling State. Going to be playing D1 basketball next season. Grambling State, of course, a historical black college.
Oh, step back. Good rebound. And we've seen now the South starting to maybe open up a small lead. A little bit of daylight. It's been a close one so far, but if she's able to put down these two on the line here, that might just about be the biggest lead of the afternoon here so far.
Alicia Carter at the line. Excuse me, Alicia Carter was the one that the foul was on. Here's the rebound numbers.
Checking in for the North, number 10, Isis Gartman, number 15, Hannah Cohn.
And the North sticking right there, but the South starting to work their way up defensively. They've been looking pretty good.
Absolutely, and I think one of the things that you saw there early when the North had a narrow lead there was that dominance more on the glass. As the South have sort of gotten a little bit more involved in the rebounding game, they've managed to flip that script and take the lead. So
yeah,
definitely playing a big part here.
Through the break there, between the quarters, head coach Dwayne Donnell really let his girls know, we got to start playing defensively, and they certainly picked up the pace. They're starting to rebound a lot better here. Gamina asking for the ball. Mosley gives it up. A 3-ball here is going to be off the mark. Olivia Davis from Cardinal Mooney. She's looking to impress in this game too, because she remains uncommitted, hoping to impress some scouts in this one. She wears number 21. She's with the ball right now. She's going to pass this one forward. Mosley launches the shot. It's off the mark. The North
to play
looking
fast
up.
here.
Look at this.
Ooh, I don't know about that.
Looked like it could have been a foul.
Thought there might have been a little bit of a foul in here, but sometimes we don't call these FACA games super tight.
Maybe in the regular season, right there.
And the regular season, absolutely. Let them play a little bit more now, but good defense nonetheless. You got to take what the officials will give you in these games. And again, the North quickly down the floor.
Nice lay-in there by Alicia Carter. Alicia Carter's having herself a first half. Again, one of the best players on the floor headed to Chattanooga.
Oh, it's a good defensive play there.
Yeah, we mentioned the play of Manasia Ford from Discovery, number 11. Again, one of those teams that just has a knack for producing some great talent. Discovery, she's committed to South Carolina State University. There's going to be a 60-second timeout here, Ben, so we got a close one still. The North starting to come back here. 25-22 ball game with 3 minutes remaining in the first half. We've enjoyed it so far. A lot of talent out there. You can see sort of the difference in the ladies that are going to the D1 schools. You got some ladies that are going to the D2, D3 schools, and NAIA, a couple players going to the NAIA. But talk about some of those uncommitted players. Let's talk about the play, especially of Nevaeh Hillman. She's been having herself a pretty good game from St. Pete Lakewood. She wears number 10 for the South.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think I mentioned to her earlier, a player that I got to see in person a couple times before today. It really impressed me with her ability to defend on the ball. Extremely quick feet, very good moving, both laterally and backwards, quick hands, and has a very good handle. So definitely a pleasure to get to be able to watch her play again.
So much great talent out here, and the North going to inbound the ball. Well, I'll tell you what, Hannah Cohn is not afraid to launch the 3-ball. Again, a 70% from the field goals this year from the field. She's got a great shot, one of the best shots we see out there. Driving in the lane, look at that. And this one's going to be off the mark. Good defensive effort by the South. Driving in there was Shock Washington. A deep 3 going to be taken here, and it's off the mark. It's rebounded by Cohn, who's going to push the ball up. Another deep 3 launched, and this one's off the mark again, but look at the North. North continue to get rebounds. They've been great so far, but it's going to be a turnover here, and the South is going to have the basketball. So, Ben, I mean, you just talk about the differences with these teams. Really, as far as coming together, they look like they're starting to come into their own. You know how teams, they only had 1 day of practice. They're really starting to look like they're playing a scrimmage here. And as far as the talent goes, here's a 3 that's launched, and that's going to help Olivia Davis's stock as she's looking to get signed.
And Davis, not somebody you tend to want to leave open and alone from three-point range. She's hit a couple now. I believe the first one she hit was from a pretty significant, not quite parking lot range, but definitely she's got range from deep to somebody you want to stick a hand up, close out, maybe yell at her a little bit, but yeah. And here we have another one, not quite, but again, you see the North immediately looking to push that pace, and she's gonna take that one all the way. That's a tough finish with the left hand there.
Chalk Washington from Winter Haven has scored the last 4 points here for the North. 2 lay-ins in a row for number 14 in the South with a 28-24 lead. But just over a minute remaining, and a 3-ball there by Tyra Brown. Brown committed to Jefferson College, and they just love what she's doing out here today and her final high school basketball game before she heads to Jefferson College. And driving in the lane there is Hannah Cohn. And again, Hannah Cohn having herself an excellent contest. Ball heads out of bounds with 50 seconds remaining in the first half. Heading back into the game for the North is going to be number 21, Zoe Tennell, and number 12, Maya Lake. And Ben, you can see the field goals made. It's about even.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think that is, just kind of what you see, 2 pretty evenly matched teams, and that tends to be the case in these FACA games. Occasionally you will get, a more pronounced scoreline, but for the most part, they tend to be fairly even affairs, but it is the best of the best here, so they tend to match up fairly well.
30 seconds remaining in the first half, and this one's going to be grabbed by the South. Coming back up is Davis. Davis is going to try to drive it here. Good defense by the North.
Good pass. And another one. Good defense there as well, though.
15 seconds remain in the first half. South going to get this ball in. Going to be Ford, launches a 3, no good. And now here comes Zoe Tennell. She's really good at driving the ball to the lane. This one up and in. How about Tennell? She did that all year long for the Villages. Now 5 seconds remaining. We'll see if the South wants to try to get one more shot off here. The shot.
Good if it goes.
And
oh,
it's
not
just
quite.
off the mark there. Driving down there was Neva Hillman, and we talked about her today. So at halftime, it's a 31-28 game here. Second game of our doubleheader is going to be at 1 o'clock. That's going to be the boys' game. Ben, your thoughts on the first half? It was a lot of fun watching some of the best talent that we've seen this season on the floor.
Yeah, an exciting one, and very, very much one of those games that a bit of a track meet, really up and down, and those are always fun to watch. So, yeah, excellent first half here.
Awesome to be broadcasting alongside the great Ben Miller. You got Drew Shaltry on the camera, and our technical director is Marty Zero. You're watching live on YouTube. We're going to take a short break here, and we'll come back with the second half live on YouTube, the FACA Girls Basketball All-Star Classic. And we are back live here on YouTube. Thank you all for joining us. The FACA All-Star Classic at Southern University in Lakeland. I'm Kyle Kopel alongside my broadcast partner Ben Miller, Drew Schultry on the camera, and Marty Zero, our technical director. Currently a 31-28 ball game as we get you set for second half action. It's been a lot of fun watching a lot of great players on the floor, and a couple of players trying to make a name for themselves as well to try to get signed. Ben, what are you looking for in the second half?
More the same, really. I think the interesting battle to watch has been the rebounding statistic that we've kind of just put up on the screen here now. You know, we talked about it as the game was going on, but the North started out with a pronounced dominance on the glass, and as the South sort of caught up and more or less erased that disparity, they were able to open up a bit of a lead, which the North then cut into. But you know, rebounding definitely has sort of shown itself through that first half to be a really big factor in this game.
You see the field goal attempts, 13-11, just about even. One of the best players that we saw in that first half on the North side was Hannah Cohn. Hannah Cohn is not afraid to launch threes, and she has a couple of field goals made tonight, looking really good.
Absolutely, and then Chalk Washington for the North team. Another player that we've all been really impressed by here. Very smooth handles, just a player who looks extremely comfortable going either to her left or to her right. We saw her with a really nifty left-handed move on the fast break as that first half was winding down.
Coach Colt McDowell, who usually coaches the Villages boys team, he came over to us during halftime and told us that Chalk Washington is headed to Florida Southern. And so that's really exciting. Florida Southern getting a steal of a player. About a minute to go before we start the second half. And again, that rebound statistic, 22-20. Score is 31-28 for the South. Very even contest. And they selected a very equal team. Usually, sometimes you get All-Star Classics that are lopsided. This one, very entertaining so far. And the boys game coming up at 1 o'clock. We got some great boys playing in that one. The Villages Charter School, Sam Walters is one of the stars that'll be in that game. He is headed to the Alabama Crimson Tide. So that'll be fun to watch. We also have a couple other players going to D1. Got one player going to Texas Tech. We'll talk more about that as we get closer to the boys game. Again, that game coming up at 1 o'clock. You can watch that live right here on YouTube. Today's broadcast brought to you by Southeastern University, located in beautiful Lakeland, Florida. We were talking about the baseball team of Southeastern University, too. National champions in 2018 and 2022. Really, really great school for baseball is Southeastern University here, Ben. And I was very impressed the other day watching them play out there, too. They were beating a team 14-7 the other day.
They have definitely got firepower to spare.
The second half beginning here in Lakeland. And the South are going to start things off. Looking to keep that lead. They currently lead by 3. Ball taken by Cohn. Ford launches a shot that's off, and look at Zoe Tennell with yet another rebound. Daytona College going to really like that next season. 3 launched, and Zoe Tennell with 2 rebounds already. We're not even a minute into the second half. Tennell has 8 total rebounds so far in the game. Cohn launches a 3, no good. Grabbed by the South. Working their way down the court is Mosley. A 3-ball launched off the mark. It's recovered here. They can't do anything with it. The North coming back down. Ball taken by Washington, who gives it up to Cohn. Cohn driving to the lane, and she's hacked, but no foul. Gets her own rebound, and it's eventually taken away by Brown.
And again, you see both teams now really trying to push things off of those rebounds defensively, not shy about trying to get down the court quickly.
Foul going to be called here, the first of the second half. Going to be called on Zoe Tennell. That's her third personal and the first team foul. A 3-ball taken here, and it's good. That Manasia Ford from Discovery. Manasia Ford, 291 points and 44% from the field this year. She averaged 14.6 points per game.
Cone with the answer.
Exactly, you're right. Cone and Ford have had terrific games. South coming back down. Still a 3-point game here, Ben. A nice steal here by the North. Washington puts it up and in.
And that's a good finish there.
So Chalk Washington. What a great player. And again, Florida Southern getting one stellar player. She's been probably the player of the game so far. Number 14, Chalk Washington for the North. The North wearing blue, and in the red is the South. Rebound here coming up from the North. They can drive down and take the lead here. Chalk Washington again working her way in. It's out of bounds, will be the South ball. I love the way she drives to the lane.
Absolutely, and very, very nearly pulled off not just the Euro step, but that tough finish going with her left hand.
The South driving it quickly here. This ball is going to go out of bounds back the North way. And like you said, Ben, the tempo in the second half early on here, you might have said something to them. You mentioned in the half to both coaches, you were like, man, look at this. And they come right out and they up the tempo.
I feel like I'm at a track meet, Kyle. Just not quite as sunny and humid in here.
A 3-ball here by Washington. Excuse me, that was Carter, Alicia Carter from Lake Highland Prep. Ball taken again by the South, but they can't do anything with it. The turnover.
Good pass. Oh, and nice
Alicia
finish
Carter.
there, going under the basket.
Carter with the last 2 baskets, and the North really coming together as a team. They now lead by 4. Oh, but in this second half, the North look a little bit more put together right now than the South. Hillman driving to the lane, it's no good.
And this is the risk here, absolutely, for the South. You see, as she just leaves that one a little bit flat. Off those off those defensive rebounds, they're just pushing the pace so hard.
Ooh. Tennell is going to pick up her 4th personal.
I wonder if fouling out of an All-Star game, I wonder if that would be a first. I don't know. Not something I can speak to.
They appear to be resetting the fouls here, so I'm not really sure what the rules as far as how the fouls are going to end up, but that would be her 4th personal. Coming out of the game for the South is Tyra Brown, and that's the one that Zoe Tennell and Tyra Brown made some contact there. Well, physicality in this All-Star Classic. Once these girls get onto the court, they're both competitive here. They want to win this game. Don't think they don't. Ball's going to go out of play, and it will remain the South ball. Hillman inbounds the ball, and a quick layup, and it's no good, but it's grabbed again by Ford, and Ford has done that all game long. Manasia Ford from Discovery, committed to South Carolina State University. Washington, great
that's
shot.
a great move there. I think that's a 2-ball, but silky little move there.
Now we have loved watching Washington. She's the player of the game so far.
Through the legs, little step back, all in rhythm. Nothing but the bottom of the net.
She may be our Dome Hats player of the game. The South with the ball yet again as it was turned over. Here's Gamina.
Oh, and that's something that I've really enjoyed seeing from the South here. Really good at passing through that interior of the paint. Their bigs have done a really great job of when the defense crashes in on them when the ball enters that paint, just finding either the open player or the cutting player. That's something that I've really enjoyed seeing out of them so far.
Yeah, right you are, Ben. We've seen some great play from all those players so far in the game. The foul was on Isis Gartman from Sanford Seminole. Her first personal, second team foul. Ball's going to go out of play. It'll be North ball. And the North with a slim lead, 40-36 with 3.5 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Second game of our doubleheader that you can watch right here on YouTube is going to be the North and South All-Stars for the boys. That's going to be an entertaining one. A great shot here by Samari Wilson, her first points of the second half. She had an excellent first half.
Nice little turnaround jumper by her there on the baseline.
Oh, look at this, driving into the lane. Oh, it just goes off. Going to be a foul here. Driving in there was Ford. It was just off the mark, but free throws coming up here for the South. Foul was going to be called on the North's number 11, Alicia Carter, and that's her third personal, third team foul. Currently at the line is Ariana Mosley out of Tampa Prep. Mosley shot 22.1 points per game this season and had 530 points for her school this season. Has shot over 1,000 points in her career. Foul coming up here. And the North headed to the line to shoot from some free throws. Foul was called on number 10. Eva Hillman, her first personal and the first team foul for the South. And so now if you're the South, you're going to probably be down by about 5 or 6 points here as that one goes off. And that's going to help the South. But all momentum seems to be with the North right now. It's going back and forth, but the North obviously has this third quarter under control. Ball taken by Hillman. Hillman working her way up.
And see another good pass down in that interior there. They have been so good at doing that throughout the course of this game, and a great little dump off along the baseline there when she's drawn the defense.
It's Olivia Davis who ended up getting it over to Haley Lang, and those two have some chemistry as this game works its way along. Cohn thought about it. She's going to give it up. And how about that? Samari Wilson with the three and makes it a 5-point game yet again with the North up front. A three ball launched here. It's just off the mark. Wilson gets the rebound. Wilson's going to press. He's going to pressure. And a deep three launched by Wilson.
Goodness.
Oh, wow. How about Samari Wilson?
She is feeling it. She is feeling it.
Wilson signed to South Carolina State University. That's 3 potential players on the floor potentially headed to South Carolina State, and they're getting a really good player out of Samari Wilson. And look she's all over the ball. She gets the rebound. Gonna dump it off down court, and this one's gonna be out of play and will be the South's ball. But Samari Wilson, you can't say enough about her play so far in this game. She wears number 22 for the North, and she's been having herself a game.
She's the hot hand right now. Gotta keep feeding her and find her on that offensive end. That'll be interesting to see if they look to get her the ball in that next possession there, because she is feeling it.
Bunch of new players coming into the game for the South and the North. Samari Wilson stays in the game. Dribbling the ball up the court right now is number 21, Olivia Davis, who remains unsigned and uncommitted currently. Ball is going to go out of play, and the North is going to have the ball. So things, I know they're going to say it went off the North, so the South's going to have the ball. A foul was called on the North. That's the reason, and that was on Chalk Washington. Her first personal, 4th team foul. Nice little dump in here, and a foul again is going to be called against the North. Going to be called against number 12, Maya Lake. Her first personal and the 5th team foul. Maya Lake out of Westport. She wears number 12. Averaged 11.8 points per game this season, 48% from the field. Mosley at the line. And you really have to start hitting some buckets here if you're the South. They have gone cold from the field here, Ben.
Let's see if she does. Oh, she thought about it.
Samari Wilson, that was the player we were talking about there. Grabbing the rebound here is Washington. Chalk Washington's going to get fouled. Chalk Washington is headed to Florida Southern. Getting the steal of player here. I think the only thing that kept her from Division I was her size.
I think that's what you can say about a fair number of these players here. You know, not a lot of height in this All-Star game for sure, and that is something that becomes a limiting factor sort of once you start moving into those Division I ranks. It's not that these players don't have the ability with, you know, the ball, the ability in terms of shooting and the basketball IQ. That's all there. Sometimes it really is just a question of you just may be a little vertically challenged, but certainly not to say that they can't play and excel at the next level.
Yeah, right you are, Ben. A nice basket there by Ford. And a traveling violation going to be called against the North as we tick down to 1 minute remaining in the third quarter. Been a fun game so far. Ford has been really good on the south side. She's probably one of the best players that we've seen along with Ariana Mosley. And here's another great player there. Tyra Brown out of Fort Myers, committed to Jefferson College, and she's going to get fouled. That was on number 21, and that's going to be on Zoe Tennell. That would be her fourth personal.
And a great pass there by Olivia Davis, sort of beating her defender at the top of the three-point line there and just floating one over the defender. But a great finish there through the contact for Tyra Brown.
And so the lead cut to 5 as we are in the final minute of the third quarter. 50-45, the North All-Stars lead. And here is Gamina. She's going to get a takeaway. It's taken by Mosley, and Mosley's going to lay it in, and it's a one-score game. Good job by Gamina. Foul here as Tennell was looking to shoot. That is on the floor. Non-shooting foul. And so that's on number 12 of Mosley. That's her first personal, third team foul on the South.
Oh,
Look
give
at
it
this.
to her.
Oh, my gosh.
Absolutely.
Samari Wilson.
Oh, no.
Missed lay-in here. Tennell takes it with 20 seconds remaining in the third quarter. And the bound's going to end up out of bounds, and the South is going to end up with it. And so that's a gift here for the South.
Absolutely. Maybe a chance to hold for the last shot of the quarter here, although the way the pace has been going so far, I wouldn't be surprised if that does not happen.
How about the pace of this game in the second half? I blame it on Ben.
Might have spoken it into existence there.
3!
Big bucket right there.
Amanda Gamina. And it cuts the lead to one score as we head to the fourth quarter. Amanda Gamina with some of her first points of the game. Gamina, the twins having a game. Kaylee Gamina is her twin. She wears number 20. And out there as well as Amanda Gamina, who drained that three. So we have a 1-point game as we head into the fourth quarter. Couldn't ask much more out of your All-Star game for the FACA.
Absolutely, and you know we talked about it a little at halftime. These games tend to be competitive, and that's the way we prefer it. You know, just really getting a great showcase of two teams going back and forth, and just really making some shots here. That's been one of the best parts of that third quarter. There, starting to rain a little bit from three-point land.
North All-Stars lead 53-50. We're going to see who are all. We got a couple of statistics here for you. Obviously, the rebounds. North has been up in that category all game. You can see the field goals still pretty even as far as that goes. North with the slight edge, and they're just playing all around better than the South right now. But the South they're right there. They're just a couple of buckets away from taking this lead. We'll see what this fourth quarter is going to bring, and we'll see what head coach Dwayne Donnell of the South is able to come up with. Dwayne Donnell is out of Evangelical Christian.
Really, I think the main thing for the South, especially in that quarter, generating some fantastic looks on offense. The ball just hasn't quite gone down. You know, just a couple of bad bounces. Maybe the rim's been a little unkind to them, but you know they have been generating some fantastic looks. So, I mean, if a few more of those shots start to drop, then wouldn't be at all surprised to see some more lead changes here.
And here comes Alicia Carter. Alicia Carter launches a shot. It's no good. It's going to be recovered. There's a scrum for it on the floor right now. Alicia Carter is going to get the ball back, and she's going to launch it for a two-point play. That was the lay-in, 53-52.
Good awareness there to get the defender up in the air and biting on that fake and just get an easy one. Oh, and another steal here.
Steal by Gamina. Back down, the South comes.
He's going to take that one.
Trying to take the lead here
Put
for the
it
South, and it's
down.
a three. Hillman takes the lead for the South. They lead by 2. 7 minutes to go in the game. Cone driving to the lane. She's going to be stopped.
There.
It's going to be taken away here. Ford launches the shot.
In
it's
rhythm.
good. And the South now up by 3. Excuse me, 4.
And you know, hey, listen, I hate being right, but sometimes all it is, just get a couple of those shots to fall. And
here's Samari Wilson. The shot is an air ball out of play, and the South with all the momentum, like you said there, Ben.
that would have been a big time heat check there from Wilson. If she'd put that one in, that would have been her 3rd or 4th 3 in a row. That would have been a big time heat check, but can't quite get that one to go down.
South All-Stars come back down. They're up by 4. Gamina
Good pass inside.
gives it up. Gamina's going to get it back. She's going to launch the lay-in, and it's no good. It's recovered by Samari Wilson. The North now trying to pressure. 6 minutes to go. Cone is going to have it. She's going to give it up. And that's going to be up and in by Mia Lake.
Nicely done there. Great ball movement by the North. One finding that trailing cutter. She comes down the floor, then kicking out once they've drawn into defense. Oh my goodness!
3 ball
Long
is no
three
good.
there.
Cone's going to recover it. Cone brings it down. Looking for help. She doesn't get any, but she's going to pass it over. And this one's going to be an air ball as well. It was launched by Aaliyah C. And Alicia Carter was not able to put that in. It'll be the South ball. Nice competitive contest as we come down to the final minutes here, Ben.
Couldn't ask for anything more, Kyle. Really couldn't ask for anything more.
South with the ball. They're pushing it forward. North defending. A 3, no good. Picked up by Washington. Washington drives down to the basket. Washington in, tie game. 5 minutes remaining in the game now, pushing it forward. The shot no good. Cone with another rebound. That's 3 in a row for Cone. 3 is good. Alicia Carter with the 3, and it's 60-57. The North retake the lead.
Been a fantastic display of shooting here in these third and fourth quarters from deep. Really starting to get everything dialed
Cone
in.
gets the steal, and coming down is going to be Alicia Carter, and she is going to have a 5-point lead. And Ben, things starting to fall apart just a little bit here for the South, but we'll see if they can get a couple of baskets. Amazing by the pace.
Well, it's that quick, man. That's really all it is. It does not take very long at all to open up just a small lead with the way the pace is. And we saw it from the South, you know, just a few minutes ago. So Do not expect them to be out of this one at all, and that's a tough drive there, and she will be going to the line.
That was a foul there. Going to the line for the South is going to be Tyra Brown, who's had herself a great second half. Foul was called on number 11, and that's Alicia Carter, her 4th personal, and that's the 6th team foul for the North. Tyra Brown at the line, shooting 2 shots. Oh, man, Twickles in. Coming back into the game for the North will be Zoe Tennell and number 10 of Isis Gartman. Here's the second shot. Dwayne Donnell, head coach of the South, a little unsure of the score, but it is a 3-point ball game with 4 minutes in the game. Cone with the ball, and a 3-ball going to be launched here by the North. It's no good, and the South with a chance to either tie the game or get it down to 1 point. Mosley driving, she's stuffed. Samari Wilson, coast to coast.
Great defense there.
Zoe Tennell. Can't say enough of Tennell tonight.
I have to say, whether Coach Donald's sure on the score or not, what I am sure of is that he's got a really snazzy looking red jacket on. I am loving that from him.
Yeah, if the camera comes back down, yeah, he's got the bow tie working for him.
He is looking sharp today.
100%. He always does.
Coach Tennell, he dressed for the part this morning. He's making me look bad out here. I'm gonna have to up my game.
No doubt about that, Ben. Here we go. Down by 5 is the South. They need a basket this time. 3.5 minutes to go in the game. It's been an excellent All-Star Classic. Thank you all for watching live on YouTube. You get the boys game coming up at 1 o'clock. Here's a drive on the inside, and it's not going to be good. The shot was taken by Haley Lang, recovered by the North. Cohen has the ball, heavily defended.
Oh,
it's going to go out of bounds.
There. Great defense there.
Right you are, Ben. Talk about that defensive stop there. And the South is going to have the ball.
And that's Hill from St. Pete Lakeland, somebody who I touched on earlier in the day about her on-ball defense. Again,
3!
I hate being right, Kyle. I hate being right, but sometimes I just can't help it. I just can't help it.
Oh, Ben's on point today. You've been more on point than I've seen you in a long time.
I'm feeling it. Much like Olivia Davis hitting that one from deep just now, I am feeling it today, my friend. I am feeling it. Big bucket there by Davis to get this one within 2.
3 minutes to go in our game, and it's a 1-point contest. The North up 64-62 over the South. A timeout was taken by Dwayne Donnell. Dwayne Donnell, look at him in that red suit. Yeah,
I'm telling you, man.
You don't think he's looking good?
Man, I'm going to have to find the nearest men's warehouse in the break between games, run out, and get a little wardrobe change here going, because I'm looking scruffy by comparison. I did not bring the game the way Dwayne Donnell did today. So I'm gonna take some notes from him without a doubt.
You can see the boys warming up in the corner. Boys game is at 1 o'clock. Currently 12:12 local time here in Florida at Southeastern University in Lakeland, Florida. North with the ball. It's going to be heavily defended. And a timeout was taken by Coach Colt McDowell. So Coach Colt McDowell, who usually coaches the Village's boys, gets the call up today. We touched on this a little earlier, but if you weren't with us, some of the coaches ended up having to back out of this All-Star game. And so Coach Colt McDowell is coaching this game. And what a great coach that the North has in Coach Colt McDowell, coming off of a state championship that they unfortunately lost for the boys.
It looks like they're taking the time to draw up a little bit of a play here once they were able to advance the ball and get the out of bounds over the halfway line. I do wonder, with no shot clock being in effect, they'll try and take like a decent amount of time off the clock here before getting a good look. Now this one's starting to get down towards the business end of this game.
Big play coming up here and a huge possession for the South, trying to keep it a one-score game. It's going to be inbounded. The North's going to take the ball. This is Alicia Carter with the ball. She's had a terrific game. Zoe Tennell is going to launch a three, and it's no good, but it's going to be recovered by the North. Zoe Tennell is going to be in there. It's a jump ball. Where's the possession arrow? And it's going to go to the South.
That might be the first jump ball we've had all game, Kyle.
Yeah, we haven't had many of them.
Getting almost the entirety of the fourth quarter until we have our first jump ball. That's one of the funny quirks of the All-Star game, sort of rhythm of play. You don't tend to see as many of those as we see the North team going into a press and a trap there that almost worked.
It almost did there, Ben. They were able to trap it, but it's going to be South ball out of bounds with 2.5 minutes remaining in this game. The North leads 65 to 62. Our score is wrong, or 64 to 62, excuse me. The ball launched here. It's going to go out of play, and the North is going to get the ball back. 2 minutes, 22 seconds remaining. Alicia Carter barking orders to her crew. Final 2 minutes. Both of these teams will be together. At the end of the game, they disband and head to their colleges. For many of them, the final high school game they'll play in. The South coming down.
Oh, nice move.
Nice lay in there. Oh, it's going.
Can't get it to go.
Can't get it to go. Samari Wilson has it. 2 minutes to go in the game. Wilson heavily defended. This one is given up to Zoe Tennell, who's going to launch the three. It's no good.
Oh, tough rebound in there.
Got to be a foul under the basket. The ball was rebounded by Washington.
And that.
Currently, right now, the Dome Hats players of the game, as far as the North goes, got to be Alicia Carter. She has had a terrific contest. A close second has to be Chalk Washington, who's also had herself a game in Zoe Tennell. Those are our three as far as the North goes. On the other side of things for the South, Manasia Ford has looked really good along with Ariana Mosley. And you got to give it up to Tyra Brown. She's been having a great game as well.
Absolutely. Plenty of performances worth highlighting here as Cole McDowell wants another timeout to talk about this one and presumably get a good look with the game starting to get towards the nitty-gritty part of things here. And hey, these coaches, these players, they want to win this game. Don't think this isn't a friendly, non-competitive affair. I mean, it's all in good fun and good spirit, but don't be fooled. Everybody on the court and involved with these two teams, they want to win this one.
Here we go. Final minute and 41 seconds to go in our game, and the North has the ball. North trying to get this ball in. It's given up to Alicia Carter. Carter going to give it up to Samari Wilson, who launches a shot. It's no good, and it's taken by the South. South marching down. They are down by one basket. Can take the lead with a three. With the ball is Hillman. Hillman trying to drive in a lane. She can't do it. Down to a minute and 20 seconds to go. And a foul here. And is this going to be out of play, or are we shooting here, Ben?
That should be a 1-and-1 now. We've got, 1-and-1s. That's the 7th team foul of the second half. So 1-and-1s here and a chance to tie this game up.
Alicia Carter, that's her 5th personal, but I'll see if they take her out. I believe it's 6 fouls potentially in the All-Star game. And so Alicia Carter able to stay in the game. And at the line shooting for the South, and this is huge, is going to be Amanda Gamina. The South need this shot, and it's good. Cuts the lead to 1 point. Gamina, a 68% free throw shooter. Not the best you'd like to see, but pretty stellar this year as far as at the 3-point line. or the free throw line, excuse me.
And percentages aside, big-time players make those when they count. And that's exactly what she did there. We got a tie ball game here, just over a minute left to go.
64-64 all there, Ben. Gamina comes out of the game. The North looking to take the lead here. Final minute. Cone passes over to Washington. Washington back to Carter and Tennell. Tennell is going to get her pocket picked. And here come the South. Brown.
That's got to be a foul there.
With a foul, and the South with a chance to take the lead with 54 seconds remaining.
Unlucky not to have that one go, but smart there to force the issue, draw the contact, and go to the line here with a chance to take the lead.
And another foul called on Alicia Carter. That's her 6th personal. No one's getting fouled out in this one, Ben. At the line, huge here for Tyra Brown out of Fort Myers. Brown headed to Jefferson College later this year, and she misses the first free throw.
And we can see now that disparity in rebounds has opened up a little bit, but the difference in the second half has been the South. More of those shots going down than they maybe had in the first half. So sort of making up for that disparity on the glass by having some kinder rolls and some kinder bounces off the rim here.
South take the lead by 1. Samari Wilson launches the 3. No good, but it's going to be recovered by Cone. Cone comes up big for the North. Carter gets it over to Tennell, who launches the 3. It's no good. Samari Wilson getting in there, and the ball goes out of bounds. They're going to say it stays with the North. 35 seconds remaining here. What do you like?
I think I think a little bit rushed on that possession there. You've got 35 seconds left. A 2 was enough to give you the lead. Don't rush too much. Take your time. Make sure you get a good look. I don't know if that was it, but again, another tough rebound and a foul call.
Foul called here, and Washington's going to be going to the line. Or are they going to call that on the floor? No, they're not in the bonus yet.
I believe that's on the floor, so they will have an inbounds under the basket here with 26 seconds. But again, you don't need to rush here. Take your time, get a good look. You really want to use the clock that you have here. There's no reason to rush, no reason to force a 3. Make sure you get the look that you want to have here.
Samari Wilson with the ball. Cone with the inbound. This one's no good. And it's going to be a jump ball. It'll remain with the North. 21 seconds remaining here. Both teams still have timeouts if they want to use them. We'll see if Colt McDowell uses them. There's going to be an awards presentation after our game. Our technical director, Marty Zero, tells us. So we'll see which players are going to get the all-tournament, or basically in this game, the All-Star Awards. That's going to be a timeout by Colt McDowell. So we got a 65-64 ball game. On our score, and in the lead is the South. The North is going to be trying to take the lead here.
And again, I think the important thing here is, you're only down by 1 basket. I talked about it ad nauseum a little bit before this timeout, but the North just a little bit rushed, a little bit frantic almost on those last couple possessions. You've got 21 seconds to work with. Plenty of time. A 2 gives you the lead. A 3 gives you a little bit more of a lead. But, no need to rush here. Make sure you're just in the flow of your offense. You're getting the look that you want. You're not forcing it. And you're not giving the South an easy out here with what could potentially be the last possession of the game if you play this correctly.
Right, you are, Ben. We'll see what Coach Dwayne Donald was able to draw up, and Coach Colt McDowell on the North. Here we go, 21 seconds to go. Cone can't get it in, but now she does. Alicia Carter with the 3. No good. Samari Wilson. Now Zoe Tennell with the fall away. Tennell gets it in, 12 seconds remaining, 10 seconds to go. South driving down. The lead is 1 here for the North. It goes out of play, and it's going to be North ball, they call. I'm surprised by that one, Ben.
Some outrage from the South team here, but one of the officials on the far side right on top of that one, and the official on the baseline right on top of that one.
We're all surprised about that one. Coach Dwayne Donald is beside himself. We got 4.5 seconds to go. And how about that fadeaway by Zoe Tennell? She's done it all season long for the Villages, and she comes up in the clutch.
Controversy brewing here, and really what we saw, the North team not able to get their first few buckets to go, but what we talked about, the disparity in the rebounding, that was really what we saw there, getting multiple second bites of the apple there, and ultimately it paid off after about the second or third offensive rebound, and sometimes that's what it comes down to. You know, whichever team's going to be able to get those second chance opportunities, and that was the difference there.
They are still barking at the referees. They just can't believe the South that it went off of the North. And from my vantage point, it looked like it went off of the North.
Not one that I was able to see from here, Kyle. I think your eyes are better than mine and my advancing years here. But unfortunately, not quite sophisticated enough to be able to do the instant replay here. But we'll just have to trust the officials over on that far side of the court.
All right, and so the North is going to have the ball with 4.5 seconds remaining. Obviously, a foul going to have to come up here for the South. And
South
another
calling a timeout here.
Timeout going to be called by the South. Coach Dwayne Donald still can't believe that wasn't off of the South. A lot of people saying the call is correct. A lot of people saying the call was wrong. Regardless, it's going to be the North ball here. And they're going to have to foul here, Ben.
Still plenty of time here, honestly, as long as you can get a quick foul, even if the North is sent to the line and makes a pair of them, you've got a timeout to use. You can advance the ball. So really the key here is just making sure you get that foul as soon as possible so you have a little bit of time to work with on the other end of things once the ball is back in the South's possession.
All right, 4.5 seconds here to go here, Ben. And the North is going to inbound this ball. We'll see if the South is able to draw anything up and try to steal the ball away. 1 point possession. The boys game coming up at 1 o'clock.
Well, I will say actually what the challenge here is the North not into the bonus yet and Colt calling another timeout.
They're now out of timeout. So Colt McDowell has called 3 in a row.
We've got a timeout war here between the North and the South. North send him out, drawing up a play. Dwayne Donald gets a look at it, calls his own timeout, and then Colt adjusts. A little back and forth timeout war here. But actually, I take back what I said before because the North not into the bonus yet. So, you know, a foul does not send them to the line. So it really is going to be, you know, can you get a steal here, or how quickly can you get that foul off? Can you do it quickly enough that you can get a couple and get the North into the bonus, and then maybe try and get the ball back after the free throws here? So not quite straightforward necessarily.
4.5 seconds remain in the game. The South's going to have to foul twice or try to get the steal here. It's been so much fun. Final seconds of these young ladies' high school careers as they head off to college. Here we go. What did the South draw up? What can the North draw up?
Oh, I don't know about that one.
This one's going to be potentially taken. No.
Oh, I don't know about that.
It was a good idea there, Ben, but that's going to be a foul, and I believe the North is going to walk away with the dub.
I really thought the South's Olivia Davis might have been fouled. I thought that might have been an over the back on, I'm not sure who was behind her there, but I thought Olivia Davis might have been fouled there.
And so that was a foul. Half a second remains in the game. 66-65 the score for the final time subbing in their high school careers is going to be Haley Lang and Tyra Brown. Haley Lang headed to Chipola College and Tyra Brown to Jefferson College later this season. If a foul happens, the North will go to the line. That should be it. And that's the end of the game. The North is going to win the 2023 FSA All-Star Game. So hats off to the North All-Stars for winning the FACA Girls Basketball All-Star Classic. Ben, what are your thoughts on the All-Star Game? It came down to it, but at the end of the day, Zoe Tennell, she makes the layup when it counts.
Oh, you couldn't have asked for a better game there. I mean, lead changes galore. We got deep threes. We got tough drives with the offhand, some hard-nosed defense, excellent rebounding. I mean, that one had a little bit of everything. If the boys' game is anything like the one that we just saw, we're going to be in for two very entertaining games here on Saturday morning.
Yeah, right you are, Ben. We're also gonna have the trophy presentations for the North and the South as well. We'll be able to broadcast that to you live. Some of the best players that we saw here today, Ben, include on the North. You had to have loved the play from Alicia Carter. I mean, when it counted, she was able to, whether it was assisting on the defensive side of the ball, she was always there. And then you also have to talk about Zoe Tennell and Hannah Cohen. The whole team really came together down at it. 66-65, they win. And what a great All-Star Classic. As far as the South goes, you got to love the play of Menasia Ford, number 11. Ariana Mosley had a great game. Tyra Brown, probably one of the best players that we saw. And then Tyra Brown committed to Jefferson College. What a steal of a player they're getting out of number 15 for the Red.
Absolutely. And just a wonderful game played by both sides there. I'd be very curious to see if the pure pace and speed of play is something that carries over to the boys' game. If it does, then oh man, we're gonna be in for something here. I don't know if we'll be able to keep up with that one if they're playing any sort of pace the way that the girls just did. But very entertaining first game to start our doubleheader off here.
Yeah, we'll have the trophy ceremony for the girls, and then after that's over, the boys will take the floor at 1 o'clock here live on YouTube. The FACA Girls Basketball All-Star Classic. Thank you all for tuning in. My name's Kyle Copel alongside Ben Miller. Our cameraman is Drew Shaltry, and our technical director, of course, is Marty Zero. Our photographer is Jennifer Zero, who's out there at center court. And she'll be taking the photographs of the players.
Now that Dwayne Donnell is out on the floor here towards midcourt, I just like to point out that sharp red jacket and the bow tie he's rocking today. Make sure you guys give that man a little love because he is looking good.
Dwayne Donnell out of Evangelical Christian. I mean, he looks good every single game out there. Out there also is Colt McDowell in the blue and wearing shorts out there. McDowell not dressed as maybe as good as Dwayne Donnell, but I like the casual look being in Florida. We're going to send it down to the court, and we are going to see who the All-Stars are in this All-Star game.
Number 12, Ariana Mosley. Number 13, Amanda Davina. Number 14, Haley Lang. Number 15, Tyra Brown. Number 20, Kaylee Davina. And number 21, Olivia Davis. Today's coach, Marcia Pinder, All-Star MVP for the South. Today's coach, Marcia Pinder, All-Star MVP for the South. Goes to number 11, Menasia Ford. Congratulations. And now for your North Awards. Number 10, Isis Gartman. Number Number 12, Maya Lake. Number 14, Creasia Washington. Number 15, Hannah Cone. Number 22, Sorry Wilson. And number 21, Zoe Canal. Today's Coach Marcia Pinder, All-Star MVP for the North, goes to number 14, Creasia Washington. Congratulations.
Thanks a lot for that info again. Appreciate you. That sent me down to zero right there. I appreciate it. I was already up on 500. Appreciate y'all. I shouted you out. Thank y'all. I appreciate it. My man. See y'all next year.
Your boys All-Star game.
All right, so you heard it on the broadcast. All the All-Stars for both teams getting their medals, and first for the South Girls All-Star team, they were in red. Getting the All-Star award in this game was Manasia Ford. And Manasia Ford committed to South Carolina State University. She played for Discovery, wore number 11. Talk a little bit about her play here, Ben, and why she deserved this award, because, I mean, she just had a stellar game.
She was really consistent, doing a little bit of everything. Hit a couple shots from the outside, was able to push the pace for her team, sort of control things on the offensive end, and just very, very deserving, had a very strong all-around performance.
And, of course, on the North, one of the best players we saw on the court all game long from start to finish, of course, was number 14, Chalk Washington from Winter Haven. She is currently unsigned. Actually, no, she is signed. She's headed to Florida Southern College, and she had one stellar game. Florida Southern getting a terrific player later on this season.
Absolutely. I mean, we saw it today. Very much the same case with her counterpart in the South team, able to push the pace and finishing with both hands and even getting in and crashing the glass very impressively. So a strong performance from her for sure.
Well, that's going to wrap it up for the girls' game. We got the boys' game coming up at 1 o'clock. Keep it right here on YouTube. You're watching the FACA Girls Basketball Championship, the Boys Championship All-Star Classic coming up next on YouTube. For Ben Miller, I'm Kyle Coppola. We'll be back at 1 o'clock for the next game, our boys' game, the FACA Boys All-Star Classic, coming up next.